Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back. It's a beautiful night in Xela. We are up rooftop with the boys. Sam is underneath the table that I'm sitting at. We're just out here hanging out. It's a beautiful night. And this may end up being the world's worst lighting situation that I've ever done. But we've been here a little over a month. Thought we'd go through cost of living because we kind of had some ideas. Thought it was going to be a little bit more expensive than Nicaragua, but fairly close. And so anyway, I thought I'd run through that with you here tonight. So getting right into it, cost of living. So first thing is rent. Rent here for us has been less expensive than Nicaragua because our rent is 2,700 Quetzales, which right now is roughly $350. However, included in the rent is electric, water, and cable and internet. So that's $350. Now, if you take out cable and internet, electric, water, what does that end up with? I don't know, 250 bucks for rent. We do pay extra because we had our own private internet put in. We just wanted something that was a little bit safer. It's so inexpensive, we couldn't see why we would not do it. Of course, we also use a VPN, but yeah, so that runs us $25. So $350 plus $25, $375, and we are all set for our place to live. The gym, and these are in no particular order. They're not largest to smallest or anything like that, just whatever popped into my head next. So the gym, more expensive here than Nicaragua. In Matagalpa, we paid $10 a month. Here we are paying $26 a month. So for the two of us, $48 for the gym membership. Great gym, inner gym, we really like it. Next, gas for cooking. So we have a gas stove. Runs us roughly $12 a month. Cell data, more expensive here. $46 for the two of us. Now, we really don't spend that because I rarely have data. The few places that I go have Wi-Fi, so most of the time I just either forget or don't even bother with data. So really that would probably be like, half of that, like $23. Lydia always has data on her phone. So, if you're a couple and you want data all the time, then about $46 would get you all the data that you can use. Drinking water, $20. I think it was like 18, so I just kind of rounded up to 20. We get those big, they deliver here to the house. We get the big 5-gallon jugs. I mean, we get them 5 or 6 at a time and just keep them here. We drink that water, and Roscoe and Sam drink that water. So $20, really about 18, 20 bucks. Gets us all the drinking water we can drink. Transportation. So transportation here boils down to taxis and microbuses. So about halfway between here and the park, there's a place where the microbuses are always leaving. So for example, any of the malls, if you're going to any of the 3 big malls, you just walk up there. They'll, they kind of let you know, or you just ask them, are you going to Inter Plaza? Are you going to Utleo? Wherever you want to go, they'll say yes or no, it's the one behind me. So that will get you, and what does that cost, honey? Like 30 cents?
2.5 quetzales, 5 quetzales for both.
Yeah, so like 35 cents for a ride on the microbus. We do grab a taxi on occasion. So like if we go to Walmart and we're loading up, we've got lots of bags full of stuff. We're bringing home big things of toilet paper and paper towels and laundry soap and all that stuff. then we'll take a taxi home, and that might run us
35, 40 quetzales.
40 quetzales, so that's about $5. So $4 or $5 every once in a while. Now, we don't do that very often. Our total transportation, around $50 a month. And that's obvious reason why we absolutely do not want a car. The city's very walkable. We can walk almost everywhere, and you can get really cheap transportation for anywhere that's kind of far away. Restaurants. There's so many restaurants here. Lots of little tiny, really cute restaurants, and a lot of them, when you walk by, like say early in the morning and the doors are closed, you would never think there was anything kind of fancy in there. And then you walk by a couple hours later and the doors are open and you peek in and you go, holy cow. And there's this beautiful garden and, fancy little restaurant in there. So it'll take us forever. We don't go out to restaurants that often. It'll take us forever to see them all. We kind of have our little vegan restaurants that we like to go to, like Xela Green and Mandarina. Those are nice little family-owned places that we really enjoy. So restaurants, $100 or less that we spend on restaurants. Every once in a while we like going to a little coffee shop, something like that in the morning, but for them, easily $100 or less. Groceries. Okay, so we spend money in two different places. The big mercado. So we'll go there, we will get, all of our fruits, our veggies. You can get beans there, rice there. So the mercado's where we get most things. Again, if you eat meat, then they have all the meat and everything there. Meat is not inexpensive here. So meat will cost you, it's not as much as in the US, but not cheap. So between the Mercado and Walmart, we're spending about $400. Now that's just for Lydia and I. So when you total all of that up, that ends up at $1,051 a month. Now, Sam and Roscoe, their food, different vet bills and things like that, but I'm not going to even include the vet bills. Those just happen rarely. But so I would figure about $200 a month for Sam and Roscoe. That gets us their flea and tick and heartworm and their food. So for us as a couple, and about $1,051. With Sam and Roscoe, $1,251. Now, things that I did not include visa extensions or border runs. So those would be extra. We haven't done either of those yet. We are doing a lot of investigating, and I'll let you know, how that works out. But that'll be extra money if you're not here on like a retirement visa or something like that. You will have the ongoing expense of visa extensions. So you can, as soon as you land, you get 3 months, and then right before the 3 months is up, you can go into Guatemala City or pay a lawyer, and you can get an extension for another 3 months. At that point, you do have to hit the border. You have to go somewhere. You're supposed to stay out for 3 days and come back in. Now, we're only about a 4-hour drive away from Mexico, so that's one of the options. Or, if you decide, hey, I want to fly home a couple times a year, that might be an option. Another thing I did not include, just because everybody's different in this case, is what medicines or vitamins that you take. That probably does run us, well, we're still in search of different places, to buy different things. So we're still looking for better deals. It's the same every time you get to a country. You're always going to spend more in the beginning, and then you kind of figure out how things work. You start talking to neighbors about where you go. I would say we'll probably end up spending about $100 a month on medicine and vitamins and things like that. I buy protein powder, vegan protein powder, and stuff like that. So, but anyway, about $100 a month. I also did not include things like right now, I'm having a physical therapist work on my hip flexor because it's been a problem for almost 2 years, really. It's been a really bad problem. I've had an ultrasound. I did that in Nicaragua. I have no arthritis in my left hip or anything like that, but during COVID, from sitting at my desk 10 hours a day instead of getting up, running around in the hospitals, I just shortened that hip flexor. Was used to being short 10 hours a day, and it's causing me problems. Looks like it's going to cost around $80 a month. Costs roughly $20 for the physical therapist to come here to the house, and she spends an hour, I mean, doing all kinds of stretching and heating, and she's been here twice now, and my hip is noticeably better. So, you know, I plan on spending about $80 for the month, and we'll just kind of, you know, keep trying to figure out, you know, how much longer I might need that. But doing great there. Dentists, doctors, veterinarian, did not include those either. And again, we will slowly find better and better prices for a lot of these things. You just end up, you know, finding out where the locals buy everything. So with that should give you a pretty good idea. You know, anything extra, you know, you can go like find things on Numbeo.com, so you can kind of add things in. You know, if you like to drink and you want to go out to bars, you know, that's going to be more. If you like to go out to fancy restaurants, that's going to be more. Although I should say alcohol does not cost very much here from what I've seen. I have I might have one drink a week, but beer, wine, alcohol does not cost that much here. But anything like that you want to kind of add in that you might do that other people may or may not do, you know, you'd want to add that. But, you know, for a couple, if Sam and Roscoe weren't with us, we'd be living on just over $1,000 a month, and that's with no budgeting. I mean, we do anything we want to do. So really, really happy here. It is a tad more expensive than Nicaragua, you know, just comparing it because that's where we were the last 11 months. So anyway, please take a minute to like and subscribe. I want to thank you all. At the time of this filming, I believe we have 471 subscribers. So we're trying really hard to get over the hump of 500. We really are, our next goal is 500, but then we really want to get to 1,000. That's kind of one of the magic numbers for YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed already, please take a minute to like and subscribe, comment down below. It really does help the channel out. And just remember, if you need an adventure, you want to get out of the rat race, you're trying to figure out how you might be able to retire a little bit early, remember, there has to be something more.